Welcome back, everyone, to Ties One-on-One, where we answer big questions through science. And today is a banger of a question, let me tell you. Is your life worth saving? Now, when I first heard this question, I was slightly nervous. I mean, just think about it. If it was possible to calculate how much someone is worth, it's somehow tangible. Like, you can be able to fully evaluate how much a single individual with so much potential, you're able to somehow characterize that person and put them in a box to understand. And that to me just doesn't make any sense. How can you be able to calculate someone's entire life down to a single value? It's just not calculable. And now we could go into the philosophy and the ethics of this question, but this is not philosophy time. It is science season, buddy. And we are only talking about a statistical life here. So let's hop right into this question. I will say you cannot put a price tag on a human life. But what if I told you that governments and corporations have been doing this for a long time? Let me describe you a scenario. Imagine yourself at a workbench in the 1970s when your boss comes in. Timmy, my boy. Yes, boss. I need your help, you see? Oh, what's troubling you, boss? It's combat cars, Timmy. It's these combat cars. They're driving me nuts, both literally and figuratively. Why is that, boss? Why, you ask? Well, that's why I like you, Timmy. You got a heart of gold, you see. Well, it's because we got no skin in the game, Timmy. And you know me, I give my mother's left arm if they give me some cheddar. So I want you to make me a car, okay, Timmy? I want you to make me a car that weighs less than 2,000 pounds and costs less than $2,000 to build. And if you do this, there might be a little extra moolah on your stocking this year. You got it, boss. I'm right on it. But do you know what would help out a lot more than the money? Oh yeah, what's that, my boy? Stop talking like you're from the 50s. Dude, it's the 70s. No one talks like this. I don't even know why you made me wear the suspenders. Seriously, who says C at the end of their sentences nowadays? Like, who does that? You're really starting to freak us out. You know, I didn't want to intrude or anything like that, but seriously, man, this is going a little bit too far. All right, fine. All right, cool, thank you. And that is how the Ford Pinto came to be. More or less. They were able to succeed in their mission, but there was a problem. The gas tank was rigged to explode due to it being placed directly underneath the trunk. Let me tell you, you do not want to be in one of these things in a rear-end collision. You would think with such an obvious flaw, the bosses would make their engineers figure out a way to fix it. No, they didn't. They did not. Why didn't they? When did you get here? I don't know, like a couple hours? You're eating my sandwich. Uh-huh. Whatever. Why didn't they? Well, it comes down to a little thing called cost analysis. Oh, sounds riveting. Check out this document. It's what has now been referred to as the Pinto Memo. It described Ford weighing the cost of fixing the fault versus just paying the damages the fault would cause. To which the results were not good. They estimated that it would cost $11 to fix the car, and they were estimating about 12.5 million cars would be sold. So it would cost about $137 million to fix. But with an estimate of 180 deaths, 180 injuries, and 21,000 burnt cars, it would cost about $49.5 million in damage cost. They estimated $700 for every burnt car, $67,000 for every injury, and $200,000 for every death. Yeah. 200,000. Not a lot in the grand scheme of things. I will say that I think Ford got this one wrong for sure, considering they had to pay over $100 million in damages, had to recall over 1 million cars, and had to endure 117 civil lawsuits, including one where 3 young women died using a Ford Pinto. Wait, why was Ford using such a low value for life? Well, to answer that question, we would actually have to travel 12 years later during the Reagan administration. In 1982, OSHA wanted to issue a new requirement for businesses to label their hazardous chemicals like sulfuric acid. To be honest, I'm surprised that this didn't happen sooner, but I guess everyone knew how corrosive sulfuric acid was. Who cares if you get a little burned? You could just walk that off. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, OSHA really wanted to get this regulation to pass. They estimated that 4,000 people were going to survive if we just put a little piece of paper that said, hey, this burns, don't touch it. To which, to the government, said it was too expensive. Wait, too expensive? Doesn't the government care about our safety? Oh yeah, for sure, which is actually why they brought this guy in. This is Kip Cozey, an American economist who specialized in economic risk and environmental regulations. He got the government to realize that their math was wrong. No duh, Sherlock. So let me be clear. The government did find it immoral to calculate how much a life was, but they didn't find it immoral to calculate how much someone's death is. Wait. So you mean the Pinto, the labeling, every safety regulation the government had to do a cost analysis on was only valuing how much you would have made if you did not die, which roughly around that time was $200,000 to $300,000. That's a little messed up right there. So what did Kip do? Well, he came up with a new value that estimated the cost of an entire person's life, not just what was basically workers' comp. And the way he got it was very strange, because he said he actually got it from us. Huh. Wait, how? So, let's say that you're unemployed, to which I freaking know you are, and you have 2 job openings for you to choose from. One is a cozy desk job where all you do is sit around filling out paperwork every day. And the other is a nuclear waste disposal technician, to where you're handling with nuclear materials every single day. Now, which one would you prefer? I don't know. The office job, I guess. Yeah, exactly. But yet still, we have to have our nuclear materials dealt with, right? So companies add a little bit of extra incentive in order to get workers to take on these more dangerous tasks. It could be like a better retirement plan, an increase in pay, and however much the company would pay that extra incentive to get workers to handle their nuclear materials, that would be a factor that played into Kip's calculations. So the new calculation goes like this. Say there was 1 in 10,000 chance of someone dying on the job. And to convince workers to take on this risk, companies were paying an extra $300 to $400 per year per worker. If you take 400 times 10,000, that's how much the company would have to pay in order to get workers to work with them, knowing that they're at risk to not making it back. So the value of a statistical life here would be 4 million. So did that change how the government saw the new chemical labeling thing? Yeah. So the estimate for putting the labels on was about $2.6 billion. And if we take the 4,000 people and multiply it to Kip's new estimate, for which in this case was around 3 million, that would be about $12 billion? Yeah. It tipped the scales very drastically in this case. Thank you, Mr. Cozey. So, like I said, I was a bit scared of this question. When this question first entered my brain, I began worrying about the implications that this question would have. But then I thought about what happened in 2020, in the height of the pandemic. Everyone was locked in their homes, no work was being done, except for what you could be able to do online. But after a month into the shutdown, there's a lot of worry about how the economy would be as soon as we were able to flatten the curve. And there was discussions if we should open up sooner rather than later. So they looked at the math. The calculation for this is around $10 million per person. And through my research, I was able to find out that we would save about 1 million people if the US remained shut down for its entirety. So that means we literally saved $10 trillion, which is half of what the US is worth. I think that it's obvious that we needed to keep things shut down during the time that we had. So this is what I want you to take away from this video. This question goes far beyond monetary calculations. It's about recognizing that we humans have value, regardless of status, job, or statistics. From history to current events, we see that every life matters. And every business or policy change that we make can have a great impact in our day-to-day lives. Also, you're worth $10 million. And it would be a shame to lose any bit of that money. And it's also kind of commendable that the new value is based on how much I value myself. Yeah, well, I gotta go apply for that nuclear waste disposal technician so I can qualify for a new Ferrari. I'll see you later. Wait, I don't think that actually how it... He's gone. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this topic or you have any questions you want me to look into, I definitely would love to hear it. My name is Ty. I answer big questions through science, and I'll see you around, number one.